A very good morning to all the participants of this webinar. From DTRTI Lucknow, I'm Arvind Mishra welcoming you to DTRTI Lucknow Webinars 2021. Today, being the 6th of November 2020, we are going to deal with the topic Bank Reconciliation Statement as part of our series on bookkeeping and accountancy. And this particular webinar is Bank Reconciliation Statement Part 3. So we'll start with the reasons, the causes of the differences that arise between the bank passbook and the cash book, or the bank column of the cash book. The difference in the balance that arises could be many, and we have seen that there could be many causes of the differences that lead to a difference in the balance in the bank passbook and the cash book. Broadly speaking, the difference between the two books arises due to mainly two types of issues. One is the issue of the timing of making the entry in the particular book. If an entry is made in one book and not made in the other book, it will lead to a difference on the date on which the bank reconciliation statement is going to be prepared, or on the date on which we are looking at both the books. On the other hand, if there is an entry either in the bank passbook or in the cash book, that will also lead to a difference in the balance between the two. Normally, there should not be any difference between the balance of the bank column of the cash book and the balance of the bank passbook. But as we are seeing, under the category of timing differences and under the category of error differences, a number of reasons could arise due to which these differences could arise. So, therefore, we'll be looking at some of these differences and how these differences have arisen. The first difference is check deposited but not cleared. So when the check is deposited, the entry would be made in the cash book and the check would be deposited in the bank. So the bank sends the check for clearing. Till the time the check is not cleared, the bank will not make the entry in the bank passbook of the deposited check, and therefore there will be a difference between the cash book balance and the bank passbook balance. Secondly, a check has been issued to some person but not presented to the bank by that person. So when we issue the check, we make the entry in our cash book bank column, but till the time that person presents that check into his bank and till the time his bank sends it for clearing and the check gets cleared through our bank passbook will not reflect the issued check, and therefore there will be a difference in the two books. Thirdly, a check which is directly deposited in the bank by one of our customers In that case, this entry will go into the bank passbook as soon as the check is cleared, but it will not appear in our cash book till the time we are informed about the deposit of the check. And this information may come from the customer. Moreover, this information may come from the entry in the bank passbook when we get that entry made, or from the internet banking statement. So when we come to know, then we enter into our cash book, and then the balance will become the same, but till that time, when we make the entry in the cash book, the balance will not be the same. Fourth reason, let's say income in the form of interest from UTI is directly received by the bank. Bank performs these services of receiving the interest, dividend, etc. on our behalf also. If the interest is received by the bank, it will make the entry in the bank statement, but that entry will not reflect in the cash book till the time we are aware of it. Similarly, in case of collection of telephone bills, insurance charges, etc., which are directly paid by the bank, by our bank on our standing instruction to pay our telephone bills or to pay our insurance charges, premium, etc., the bank would make the payment and make the entry in the bank statement or the bank passbook, but that entry will not reflect in our cash book till the time we are informed about it. Similarly, sometimes bank may levy some bank charges and may debit our passbook, but that entry is not reflecting in our cash book till the time we are aware of it. Sometimes locker rent is charged by the bank in case we have a locker in the bank, and bank in that case will debit the locker rent in our passbook. But of course, till the time we are aware of it, that entry would not be made in the cash book, and therefore there will be a difference in both the books. Now, sometimes there may be a wrong debit in the cash book, and we may make a wrong debit in the cash book by our mistake, and that may be the reason for the difference in the balance. We may make a wrong credit in the cash book, and the reason for the difference. Sometimes there may be a wrong debit in the passbook because the bank may make a mistake in making an entry in the passbook. Similarly, there can be a wrong credit in the passbook also. It may also happen that the debit side of the bank account in the cash book may not be cast properly, thereby meaning that it may not be totaled properly. It may be under totaled or it may be over totaled. Similar thing may happen with the credit side of the bank account in our cash book, that may get under totaled or over totaled, thereby leading to differences in both the books. Sometimes the bill receivable, which is collected directly by the bank, will be entered in the bank statement but not entered in the cash book till the time we are aware of it. Also, the bank may charge interest on the overdraft and may enter it in the bank statement, but we may not be aware of it. And that is why the difference. So, like that, there could be many reasons due to which there will be difference in both the books, and thereby it will need to be reconciled through the bank reconciliation statement. We have seen a few examples as to how the reconciliation is done. We can start from the balance of the cash book and move towards the balance of the passbook, or we can start from the balance of the passbook and move towards the balance of the cash book. Now, how it is exactly done in a very neat manner, whenever in practically it is done, we'll look at it now. So, to prepare a neat bank reconciliation statement, how to prepare a neat bank reconciliation statement, we'll learn that. So, we'll take the same example as has been done, as was taken earlier in the illustration 1, and the same illustration statement that was prepared earlier on a rough basis, just to understand how it is to be done. Now we'll prepare that on a systematic basis. Now this work is done in two ways. The bank reconciliation statement is presented in two ways. One is the balance presentation and other is the plus and minus presentation. So first we'll see the balance presentation. So this is the bank reconciliation statement prepared as per the balance presentation. As we can see that we are starting with the balance as per the passbook. There is a details column and there is an amount column. We use the details column to aggregate the figures to be added, to be put in the amounts column. And there is a particulars column here. So we start with the balance as per passbook. We could have started with balance as per cash book also. Both ways are fine. If we start with the balance as per passbook and we start doing the reconciliation entries, and finally if we are reaching the balance as per cash book, then we know that we have reconciled the two books. So we start with the balance as per passbook. Then we are adding the two checks which were deposited but not yet credited. Because the balance as per passbook is 2,43,000 and we have to move towards the cash book balance. Therefore, if there are certain checks which were deposited but not credited in the passbook, but they are already credited in the, already debited rather in the cash book. So we will need to add these balances to move towards the cash book balance. So we are adding 1,05,000 rupees, 34,000 rupees being the checks which are actually already entered in the cash book, but they are not entered in the passbook, and therefore to move from the passbook balance to the cash book balance, we need to add these two checks. Second thing was the premium which was paid and the bank charges which were both entered in the passbook, but they were not entered in the cash book, amounting to 26,000. That also will be adding here. Because the premium which is paid and bank charges which are debited in the passbook, they are already reduced in the passbook, but they are not reduced in the cash book, and therefore this will need to be added back here in order to go towards the cash book balance. Similarly, there are some checks which were issued but not yet presented in the bank by the customers who took away the checks. So when we entered the checks, these checks has reduced the balance in the cash book, but this balance is not yet reduced in the passbook so far. So we will be reducing these two checks balances, these two check amounts from the balance at which we are at 4,08,000 in order to reach the cash book balance, in an attempt to reach the cash book balance. So after reducing these two, we are getting 1,51,000. Then there is some interest which is credited by the bank on the balance, on our balance, which is not yet entered in the cash book. So due to this, the bank balance has gone up in the bank passbook, but not in the cash book. So we'll reduce this amount also to move towards the cash book balance. So this amount is 20,000. We reduce that and we come to 2,37,000. And as we reach to 2,37,000, we find that that is our balance as per the cash book. So if we have started with the bank passbook balance and reached the cash book balance like that, and the two balances are now reconciled with each other, so we know that we have found out all the reasons for the differences between the two books. Now, the same thing can be seen as to how we can start from the cash book and then move towards the bank passbook. So we start with the same illustration, same example. Now we are starting from the cash book and trying to move towards the bank passbook. So we start with balance as per cash book, which is 2,37,000 rupees. And thereafter, there are the two checks which were issued but not yet presented. So obviously, these checks were issued so that the issue of these two checks had reduced the cash book balance, but had not reduced the bank passbook balance. So in order to move towards the bank passbook, we'll have to add back these two checks. So we add back these two checks totaling 1,51,000. Thereafter, some interest has been entered in the passbook, but not yet entered in the cash book. So here, now this is the interest which is there in the passbook, which has increased the balance of the passbook already, but cash book balance is not increased by this amount. So we'll increase the balance here by adding this amount of 20,000, and now we have a total of 4,08,000. As you can see, the amounts which are added while the cash book from the bank passbook, the same amounts will be reduced while moving from the cash book towards the bank passbook. So similarly, when there are some checks which are paid in but not yet credited, these two checks are already credited in the checks which are deposited in our bank are already credited in the cash book, but they are not credited in the bank passbook. So we'll reduce it from the bank passbook balance, and so therefore these two checks have been reduced here. The balance has been reduced and totaling to 1,39,000, and we reach a balance of 2,69,000. And then of course there is some premium which is paid and the bank charges which were paid, and they were entered in the passbook. Therefore, since they are entered in the passbook, they had reduced the balance of the passbook, but the cash book balance had not been reduced, and therefore we'll be reducing this cash book balance here to reach towards the bank passbook. We are reducing this 26,000 rupees, and finally we are arriving at 2,43,000 rupees, which is the balance as per passbook. Now this is a balance representation where finally in the final column we are giving the balance of that book. Now let us go towards the next type of representation for the same thing, and that is called the plus minus representation or plus minus presentation. Now in the plus minus presentation, what we do is, as you can see, it is a smaller representation to look at, because here we are not having any column, the details column, where we aggregate the totals to be put in the concerned balance column. On the other hand, if there is a plus amount, we put that in one column. If there is a minus amount, we put that in the other column. So all the pluses will come on one side, all the minuses will go on the other side. And the totals of the plus side will be equal to the total of the minus side. So how it is operating, basically, as we can see, we can start either from the cash book or we can start from the passbook. Both ways are fine. So we write the balance as per cash book. As it is a plus balance, it is being written among the plus amounts. If it was a negative balance as per cash book, then it would have been written in the minus column. Now, having done that, whatever amounts have to be added, when we say there is a plus amount, then that would come in the plus column. If there is a minus amount, that would come in the minus column. So when we say add or subtract, we just make the entries like that. Of course, the variation of it, wherever there is an overdraft balance, supposing this 2,37,000 was an overdraft balance, it would be written on the right side, not here, not on the plus side. So in that case, we will see from the illustrations that are coming up that how this issue will be tackled. But just for an example, let us say that we are having a cash book balance of in the negative. It's an overdraft balance. Negative means it is a bank column balance, not the cash column balance, because cash in the cash book cannot be negative. So let us say that there is an overdraft balance showing in the bank column of the cash book, which is minus 2,37,000 rupees. Now, let's say some check is issued but not yet presented. So checks which are issued but not yet presented, supposing these checks were entered in the bank passbook, because here what is the situation is? The situation is that checks have been issued but not yet presented. That means in the cash book these checks have been entered. So these two checks have been, let us say these two checks have been entered 73,000, or let us say let's consider one of these checks. Let us say that this 73,000 check has been entered in the cash book as having been issued to someone, and that is why this is shown as 2,37,000 rupees. But this check has not come into the bank passbook. So bank passbook will not show this 2,37,000 balance. Rather, it will show 2,37,000 plus 73,000. Because this is a minus figure. So 2 lakh, when we go by algebra, we will have to minus 73,000 rupees from this 2,37,000 rupees. So we'll come to a figure of 2,37,000 rupees minus 73,000 rupees. So let me just start a calculator and show you that. Just for the accuracy. Otherwise, we are well aware that we have to simply reduce this, so it will be very easy to reduce otherwise also, but we'll just show you through the calculator. So here is the calculator, and I am entering a figure of 2,37,000 rupees. This is a minus figure, and let's say a 73,000 check has been already entered, and then this figure has been arrived at in the cash book. But this 73,000 figure of the check has not been it is not there in the cash, the bank passbook. So in the bank passbook, we'll have a higher balance. So to get a higher balance in negative, because this is a negative balance, we'll have to reduce this. So we go minus 73,000 rupees, and we get a figure of 1,64,000 rupees in the negative. So what we are trying to explain is that in case this was a minus figure, this 2,37,000 was a minus figure, we will not add this amount in that case of 73,000. We'll be reducing this amount. In terms of plain algebra, if you were to say we are reducing or adding, if it was a plus amount, then we'll be adding it. But if it was a minus amount, then we'll be reducing it from here. And similarly, we'll do with the other entries also. Now let us take an illustration to be very sure about how it goes about. Now we have a balance of, as per cash book, of 2,40,000 rupees here. There was a check which was issued but not presented in the bank, a check deposited in the bank but not yet cleared, bank charges, interest credited, and balance as per the passbook. Now, as you can see, there is a difference between the balance as per cash book and the balance as per the passbook. So we are asked to prepare a bank reconciliation statement. Now we are starting with the balance as per cash book, and you are seeing that the way we are going about it, we are using the balance presentation here. In the plus and minus presentation, there is a plus column and there is a minus column. In the balance presentation, there is a balance column, and of course there could be a detailed column also if required. In the detailed column, we'll be aggregating amounts. For example, if there were two checks which were issued but not presented, we could have added them here together and then represented them in the amounts column. Here we have started with the cash book, balance of 2,40,000 rupees. There is a check which is not issued. Since this is a check which is issued, it has reduced the balance of the cash book, but we are moving towards the passbook where the balance is not reduced. So we'll be adding this check because passbook balance is more due to this reason. Then we have to move towards the passbook. So we'll add this 1,36,000. After that, there is an interest which is credited by the bank, but it is not entered in the cash book. And since this interest has gone to increase the balance of the passbook, and we are on the cash book balance, because this interest is not entered in the cash book, so the cash book balance due to this interest is lesser. Therefore, we'll be adding this interest here so that we can move towards the cash book bank passbook balance. So we get at the figure of 3,77,250. After that, we see that there are some checks which are deposited but not yet cleared, which means that these checks have already increased the balance of the cash book, but the bank passbook balance has not increased. So therefore, we reduce the balance here of the cash book to go towards the passbook balance by 90,000. Similarly, there are some bank charges. Bank has entered these bank charges in the bank passbook. Therefore, due to these bank charges, bank passbook balance has become lesser by 300 rupees. as compared to the cash book balance, and therefore we'll be reducing this because we are moving from the cash book balance towards the passbook balance. So we reduce this 300 rupees and we come to 2,86,950, which is of course the bank passbook balance. So this is how it stands reconciled. Now let us take one more example. Examples help us to get clarity over many things. So therefore we are taking examples. Again, on 31st March 2017, the bank passbook of Namrata is showing a balance of 1,50,000 rupees. So what we have done here is that to her credit, while balance as per cash book was 1,12,000 rupees. When we say the bank passbook of Namrata showed a balance to her credit, it means that it is a positive balance. So we have entered this positive balance here, 1,50,000 rupees, as the balance as per the passbook. And we are moving from the passbook towards the cash book to prepare this reconciliation statement. We are aware that the balance as per cash book is 1,12,000 rupees 050 as mentioned here. Now, it is already provided here that on scrutiny of the two books, the causes of the difference have been ascertained. As we have seen earlier, that we have to compare each entry in both the books and then we have to prepare a list of the causes of the difference between the two books. And having prepared this list of the causes of the difference, in case of these two books, then we go about making the bank reconciliation statement. So, what do? We start with 1,50,000 rupees and thereafter we look at those entries which will be added and those entries which will be reduced. Instead of doing that, we can just do an add column here and we go entry by entry from the top. And if that entry has to be added, then we add it. If it has to be reduced, we add that entry among the reduced entries. So we take the first one first. Let us say Namrata has issued checks amounting to 80,000 rupees, out of which only 32,000 were presented for payment. So, since Namrata has issued the checks amounting to 80,000 rupees and only 32,000 were presented for payment, we have to arrive at how much amount has not been presented for payment. And when we say presented for payment, we can make a conclusion here that clearance has already taken place. In such cases, you have to assume that this has been cleared. So 80,000 checks, but out of the 80,000 checks, 32,000 were presented. How much was not presented, we have to calculate that. So we reduce 32,000 from 80,000 and we come to a figure of 48,000, which means that 48,000 worth of checks have not been presented for payment by those people to whom we have issued the checks. Not presented for payment means they have not presented for payment to their bank. Now, once we say that 48,000 worth of checks have not been presented for payment, we make this conclusion and we assume here that 32,000 value of checks have been presented and cleared also. So they are finding an entry in our bank passbook. But 48,000 rupees worth of checks out of these 80,000 are not finding an entry in our bank passbook, though we have entered them in our cash book. 48,000 our our cash book balance is showing a less figure of by 48,000 rupees as compared to the bank passbook. So cash book is showing less figure. We have started with the balance or as per passbook, and we are moving towards the cash book balance. Since cash book balance due to this 48,000 is lesser by 48,000, and we have started with bank passbook balance, therefore we will be reducing this 48,000 rupees to move towards the cash book balance. And you can see this entry has been entered among the reduction entries. The second one is Namrata received a check of 5,000 rupees, which she recorded in her cash book, but forgot to deposit that check in the bank. Sometimes the check comes to you, and when the check comes, you record it that you have received that check in your cash book, but you just forgot to go to the bank and deposit it. So then what happens? As you have entered this check in your cash book balance has become more than the bank passbook balance by 5,000. So therefore, when we are moving from the bank passbook balance towards the cash book balance, and our cash book balance has become more, so we have to add this figure of 5,000 rupees. So therefore, we can see that 5,000 rupees has been added to this amount. We have started with this amount. We are adding certain amounts and subtracting certain amounts. Then a check of 22,000 rupees, which was deposited, has not been cleared yet. Now, this is a situation where this lady Namrata, she received a check of 22,000 rupees, but of course, she has entered it into her cash book, and she has also deposited it in the bank, but it is not so far cleared when she is preparing the bank reconciliation statement. So as on date, when she is preparing the bank reconciliation statement, a check of 22,000 rupees stands deposited by her as per her cash book. So therefore, this has increased the cash book balance, but to the extent of 22,000 rupees, but the passbook balance has not been increased so far because this check has not yet been cleared. Moving from the because due to this reason, cash book balance is more than the passbook balance. So when we start with the passbook balance, we have to add this 22,000 rupees to move towards the cash book balance. That's how we are adding this 22,000 amount here. Then Mr. Gupta deposited an amount of 15,700 rupees in her bank. In whose bank? In Namrata's bank. Mr. Gupta, he went to Namrata's bank and he deposited an amount of 15,700 rupees there. But Namrata doesn't know about it, and so she has not been able to enter that amount in the cash book. Therefore, the extent of 15 is lesser amount cash book balance because she has not yet entered in the cash book, and therefore, when moving from the bank passbook to the cash book balance, we will need to reduce this amount of 15,700 rupees. So therefore, that is what has been done here. Then bank has credited an interest of 1,500 rupees and charges of 250 also it has charged to the account. So which means that due to this 1,500 rupees this bank has credited, the bank balance has gone up, but cash book balance has not gone up because Namrata doesn't know anything about this 1,500 rupees so far. It's not mentioned here that Namrata doesn't know about it, but this is the assumption that we have to make here. In a question like this, sometimes they need to be more clear as to the fact that it is not entered in the cash book, but even if it is not mentioned, then an assumption has to be made here. Because in this type of question, we are referring to the cause of the difference where bank credits the interest, but the same is not yet available to the information is not available to the cash book accountant, and therefore in the cash book this credit has not been made. So therefore bank balance is more by 1500, and therefore to move towards the cash book balance you have to reduce this figure of 1500. On the other hand, if the bank has charged 250 rupees as bank charges, the bank passbook balance has become lesser than the cash book balance because the information is not available to Namrata of this 250 rupees, and therefore she has not entered it in her cash book, and therefore this 250 rupees will have to be added. Why it has to be added? Because the bank balance, the bank passbook balance has become lesser. So we need to go towards cash book balance. So we have to add it back. And thereby we reach a final figure of 1,12,000 rupees, which is the balance as per cash book. And that's how this bank reconciliation statement shows the final reconciliation. Now let us go towards one more, towards another next example. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sir, can you explain that 5,000 rupees?
Okay.
The check recorded in cash book, yeah.
Okay. I'm explaining this. Now, Namrata received the check of 5,000 rupees. Okay. Now, when Namrata receives this check of 5,000 rupees from any customer or anybody, what she does is that she records that check in her cash book. As soon as she records this check in her cash book, her cash book balance goes up. Cash book balance goes up means the bank column balance in the cash book goes up by 5,000. Now, she has forgotten to deposit this check in the bank. So therefore, when she gets this bank passbook filled up properly, even at that time, she will not find that this check is there in the bank passbook. So therefore, due to the fact that this check is already entered in the cash book bank column, but not entered in the bank passbook, the bank passbook balance will be lesser than the cash book balance by 5,000 rupees. Is it right? So,
Yes.
So, since the bank passbook balance is lesser by 5,000 rupees, and we have started with the bank passbook balance, and we are moving towards the cash book balance, and cash book balance is more by 5,000 rupees. So, in order to move towards the cash book balance, we will be adding this 5,000 rupees to move towards the cash book balance. So, what we are attempting here is that we are not attempting a rectification of errors. We are attempting a reconciliation. By reconciliation, which we mean that we want to be sure that we know all the reasons for which the difference between the bank passbook and the cash book balance is there. That is why, and that for that reason, that we want to find out exact reasons for which there is a difference between the two balances. And for that reason, we are preparing the bank reconciliation statement. We are not correcting anything here. Of course, once we make the bank reconciliation statement, if there are some entries where some incorrect entry has been made, the correction will be attempted later on, but not while making the bank reconciliation statement. So here, this 5,000 rupees check has been entered in the cash book. So cash book balance has gone up by 5,000 rupees, but bank passbook balance has not gone up by 5,000 rupees. So as we are starting from the bank passbook side, moving towards the cash book side, we have to know that what we have to do with this 5,000 to reach the cash book balance. Since the cash book balance is higher than the bank passbook balance due to this particular reason by 5,000 rupees, therefore we are adding this 5,000 rupees to this 1,50,000 rupees.
Sir, over here the check of 5,000 rupees has not been deposited in the bank. So should we need to reconsider it? As it has not been deposited in the bank, so can't we just ignore that?
See, we have to understand. Okay, I'll try to answer this. You know, she has received. She looks at her both the books. She looks at the books, her cash book, and she looks at the bank passbook. Now, normally, her bank passbook and her bank column of the cash book should show the same balance, because whatever is being written in the bank column of the cash book, the same entries should be there in the bank passbook also. Now, when she looks at both the books, she finds, oh, there is a difference between the two. Now, when she finds the difference between the two, she must know all the reasons for the difference. There could be one reason, there could be 5 reasons, there could be 10 reasons, there could be any number of reasons for which the difference is there. Now, if she is able to find out the causes of the difference and the values, then she knows that she has not missed out on any entry in her cash book. She also knows that there is no entry missed out now, which is not considered by her in the bank passbook also. Because let us say the difference is arising due to the bank statement mistake made by the bank. So Namrata will have to go to the bank and tell the bank, okay, you have please correct it. Unless until she makes this bank reconciliation statement, she is not able to go to the bank to tell them you have made a mistake, because she has to be first sure of all the reasons, then only she'll start taking action to corrective action to get that corrected. Now it may sometimes also happen that she has made some wrong entry in her own cash book. Let us say instead of 5,000 she entered 4,000. So if she makes any mistake in her cash book, then she will go and correct that mistake in her cash book. If the bank has made a mistake, the bank will make the correction. If both have not made the mistake and there is a difference due to the timing of the statement or something, the timing of the entry being made in the cash book and in the bank statement, then she knows that in course of time it will get corrected. But she must be sure why the difference is there. Now she has received this check of 5,000 rupees, herself forgot to deposit it in the bank. Now she has ascertained the difference. Now once she has ascertained the difference, what she will do? Obviously, she will go to the bank and deposit that check. Now how did she come to know that she has forgotten to deposit that check in the bank? Because she compared the entries in the bank column of her cash book with all the entries in the bank passbook column, and she found, wow, this 5,000 check is there which I have entered in my cash book, but it is not there in the bank passbook. Then she suddenly, she remembered that, I placed that check over there and I have not deposited in the bank so far. So as soon as she comes to know of this, what she will do, she will take that check, go to the bank and deposit it. That is one of the things she is going to do. But she has to take corrective action not just for one difference. There are here 5 types of differences. So she has to be sure that all those differences get reconciled and corrected if any correction is required. So for this particular entry of 5,000 rupees, she has to put that entry in the bank reconciliation statement. In the bank reconciliation statement, she needs to finally reconcile that why these two differences are there. So she puts the balance as per passbook here, 1,50,000. She puts the balance as per cash book here, 1,12,000 rupees, 50 paise, 1,12,050. And she tries to put the causes of the differences here. And by putting the causes of the differences, due to some causes, some additions are taking place. Due to some causes, some subtractions are taking place. After doing that, if she is able to balances, then she knows that she has found out all the causes of the differences, and now she can go about taking corrective action. Now the question arises that she can start from balance as per cash book also, or she can start from balance as per passbook also while preparing the bank reconciliation statement. But in this case, what she has done is that she has started from the balance as per passbook. It is her wish. In the question, sometimes they may tell you, you can start with balance as per passbook. Sometimes they may not tell you. They give you a choice. You start from anywhere and reach the other side. So here she has started from balance as per passbook. Now her balance as per passbook written in her passbook is 1,50,000 rupees. Now she knows that this 5,000 rupees check she has not deposited in the bank. She needs to move towards the cash book balance from the passbook balance to be able to reconcile the two. Now she knows that her 1,000 rupees, which is entered in the cash book but not entered in the bank passbook. Due to that reason, her bank passbook balance is lesser than the cash book balance by 5,000 rupees. So since the bank passbook balance is lesser and the cash book balance is more, and she has to move from the bank passbook towards the cash book balance. So she has to move towards something which is more than where she is. So since she has to move from a position towards a more position or towards a higher position, she has to add this 5,000 rupees. Then only she will be able to move towards the cash book balance. And that is why she is adding this 5,000 rupees here. Please raise the doubt. Is that clear or we need more further clarification? Feel free.
Sir, one thing that I'm not getting is we go for bank reconciliations when there is an anomaly, right?
Yeah.
So when we are not depositing anything in the bank, so actually go as per bank, because there are ample differences and there are genuine errors in the cash book. But we know in bank passbook the calculations what we get over there are authentic. So when we are not depositing anything in the bank, one question that is coming across my mind is, do we need to make any adjustments in cash book since we are not depositing anything in the bank, or can we just ignore that? That is all I'm thinking.
Okay. You see, now she has entered this check of 5,000 rupees in her cash book, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think that she would like to deposit that check of 5,000 rupees in the bank or not?
Definitely, sir.
Okay. So when she goes and deposits that check of 5,000 rupees in the bank, she will be sure that, okay, when I go and deposit it there, then the two balances will become equal.
Yes, yes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now she knows that all I have to do is that I go and deposit this check in 5,000 rupees there, and the matter will get sorted out. Fine. I'll be happy with doing that. I don't have to do anything in the cash book. Cash book is already entered. Problem is with the bank passbook, and it's not the problem of the bank. It is a problem with my way of doing things. I did not go to the bank to deposit the checks. My mistake. So
Okay.
all I have to do is just take this check and deposit in the bank, and both the books get reconciled to that extent. Okay, that is how Namrata will think.
Yes.
Okay, but what we are saying is that this is just one of the reasons for the causes of the difference. When we are preparing the bank reconciliation statement, if by doing that 5,000 thing, if my both the books are getting reconciled, fine. And I don't have to prepare any bank reconciliation statement at all, because just by putting that 5,000 rupees in the check, my bank reconciliation is done. You know, but here we have 5 different things due to which the differences are there.
Yes.
And that is why, apart from this 5,000, there are other 4 things also to be done. But till the time this 5,000 is also mentioned there, the two balances will not reconcile.
Okay.
So that is why I have to put this entry here in the bank reconciliation statement.
Okay. Okay.
That is the reason.
Okay.
Okay. So we take one more illustration, which is a overdraft illustration. I'll just do one more illustration, and then we'll do the rest of the things in the evening. We are going slow and steady so that we get a complete grasp of the subject. Now we start with this illustration 4, and I'll just quickly do it. Now what is being given here is that there is a overdraft. Overdraft means there is a minus balance bank column as per our cash book. Now our cash book is showing that our bank balance is in the minus of 6,340. Now it is found that interest on the overdraft, bank will be charging interest on the overdraft. So bank has charged interest on overdraft for 6 months ending 31st December 2017 for rupees 160, and they have entered it in the passbook. I mean to say, when you go to the bank and give the passbook to the bank has entered it in the bank account. So 160 rupees interest has been charged in the passbook, but it has not so far been entered in the cash book. Then bank charges of 400 rupees are also debited in the passbook, but they are not entered in the cash book so far. Then checks which were issued but not cashed. Not cashed means the person to whom the check was given has not cashed it so far. When we use the word cashed, it could mean that a bearer check has been issued perhaps, and the person did not go and take the cash from the bank. The word cashed can also issuing a account paycheck to him, and he has not gone to the bank and presented to the bank. But then the same thing. Sometimes we say the check is not presented in the bank. Sometimes we say check has not been cashed. Because cashed means presented as well as cleared, both. So checks have been issued worth 11,68,000 rupees, but they have not yet been cashed before 31st December 2017. And on 31st December 2017, this bank reconciliation is being done. So as on 31st December 2017, when we are looking at the bank passbook and our cash book, we are finding that these checks which were issued but not cashed, they are entered in the cash book but not entered in the bank passbook. Then checks which are paid into our bank but not cleared before 31st December, which means that we received checks of 22,17,000 rupees, which we went and paid into the bank also, but the checks have not got cleared before this 31st December 2017 date, and therefore these checks are not finding any entry in the bank passbook, though these checks have been entered in the cash book. When they were received, they were entered in the cash book. And then, of course, some investments are interest on those investments are collected by the bank and credited in the passbook after collection to the extent of 12 lakh rupees, but it is not entered in the cash book because we were not aware so far that this interest has been collected by the bank. So that is how the difference is there due to this entry also between the cash book and the bank passbook. So look at the reconciliation statement, how it is going about. Now, in this example, the same bank reconciliation statement would be presented in the balance presentation, which is the first one, and in the plus and minus presentation also. So let us see how the two presentations look like and how they appear finally. So let us understand the balance representation. We'll look at the plus and minus representation in the next part of the session. Now, we start with the cash book. Okay, it's up to us. We can start with the cash book or we can start with the bank passbook. We have been given a balance here of the, in this case, we have been given a balance in the cash book, and we have not been given a balance of the bank passbook. So in this question, we have to start with the cash book balance, but we are not aware of the bank passbook balance. So we'll make the reconciliation entries as per the details given here, and then we'll arrive at the cash book balance. So let us see. We start with the overdraft of 6,340 rupees. As per the cash book, we have minus 6,340 rupees in the cash book. Overdraft means is minus. As you can see in the plus minus representation, it is put in the minus column here. Now, then we have some interest which is debited in the passbook, but not yet entered in the cash book. Interest of 160 rupees here on the overdraft. Interest on the overdraft means bank is charging this interest. So since bank has charged this interest, it has put this entry into the passbook. Now, because this entry has been put into the passbook, this entry is not there in the cash book. So because of the fact that this entry is not there in the cash book and it has been put in the passbook already, we can easily see here that if this entry was entered in the cash book, then our cash book balance would be 6,340 plus 160 in the minus. Is that right? Because this 160 is by 160 rupees, our balance should reduce. Balance should reduce means it should go further in the minus. Our balance in the cash book is showing minus 6,340. If we had entered this interest in our cash book balance would have shown minus 6,340 minus 160, which means minus 6,500. But actually it is showing 6,340 because of the reason that this interest is not entered there. This interest has been charged by the bank on the overdraft that we have done, on the loan which is taken by us through the overdraft. Bank has charged interest, and when the bank charges interest, what it does, it makes an entry in our bank statement. But we have not yet made the entry in the cash book. So we have started with the cash book. We want to move towards the bank passbook. And though we have written it as the overdraft, we are writing it in the positive figure here in the balance presentation. And since we are writing it in the positive figure, therefore we will have to add this 160 here, because because we should be having 6,500 rupees in our, if we move towards the passbook. Our passbook balance should be minus 6,500 rupees due to this entry only. So therefore, we add this figure of 160 because we started with, instead of writing it in the minus, we have written it in the plus. So therefore, we have to go by the value, and therefore we write 160 here. So 6,340 plus 160. Assume that if it was not an overdraft, then this entry would be minus. We would have put in the less figures. We would have reduced it if we had started with the positive balance. But since we have started with a negative balance, the very opposite happens. As soon as we start with an overdraft balance, what we reduce when we start with a positive balance, we will add in this situation. And what we add in the situation where we start with a positive balance, we will subtract that over here. The very opposite has to be done. So if we remember what is to be done with the positive balance, then we have to just remember that we have to do the very opposite of that in this situation. Now, second thing is bank charges which were entered has made some before bank has entered them in the passbook. So since bank has entered in the passbook, our bank balance has reduced further. So bank balance is less by 400 rupees due to this reason as compared to the cash book balance. So we are moving from the cash book balance towards the bank passbook balance, and therefore we have to reduce this figure. Reduce this figure means if it was minus, then by reducing, we would have written minus here. So, but here since we are writing it in the plus, we just put a plus here, so that this 400 rupees will add up to the 6,340 plus 160, and then we'll move towards the passbook. Now, there are some checks which were deposited but not yet credited in the passbook. So if these checks were deposited, they have been already entered in the cash book. Now, that means that we have already taken credit of these deposit of these checks in our cash book. Rather, we have taken, if we were to talk about in the accountancy terms, and therefore our balance in our cash book is more as compared to our balance in the passbook due to this reason. As our balance in the cash book is more because we have deposited these checks in the cash book, but these are not yet credited in the passbook. Our balance in the cash book is more, and we are moving from the cash book towards the passbook. So obviously we have to reduce the balance. So if we had started with a positive figure or a positive balance, then we would have reduced it. But here, as we are writing it as our balance was an overdraft, in order to reduce it, we have to add over here, just like we have added 160 and 400. We just add 22 lakh 17,000. We have to remember this. Actually, what we are doing is if we just put a minus before 6340, and you put a minus before 160, you put a minus before 400, you have to put a minus before 22 lakh, then all these figures will get added. So similarly, you have to, since we are not putting a minus, we are just adding these figures. So we add up to 23,900. Doing the very opposite from when we start with the positive balance. In case of overdraft balance, we'll do the very opposite of it in the balance presentation. Now, checks issued but not yet presented. We know we have issued some checks. That means since they are not presented in the bank, our cash book balance is lesser as compared to the passbook balance due to these checks of 11,68,000 rupees. Since our cash book balance is lesser and we are moving and passbook balance is more, we are moving towards the passbook, we are moving towards the more, so we have to thereby increase our balance, and since we have started with the overdraft balance, to increase the balance will minus the amount of 11,68,000 rupees. So we put minus 11,68,000 rupees here. 11,68,000 rupees in the bracket means it is the minus figure. So from 22 lakh rupees, we have minus 11,68,000 rupees here. And then there is some interest which is collected and credited by the bank but not yet entered in the cash book, which is to the extent of 12 lakh rupees. So due to this reason, cash book balance is lesser than the passbook balance. So we have to go towards more, and to go towards more, normally we add it, but since we have started with overdraft, we subtract it and we say minus. With 12 lakh rupees minus, and then we come to 1,44,000 rupees 100. And 1,44,100 rupees is the answer, because that should be the balance as per passbook. As you can see, the balance as per passbook is different from the balance as per cash book, and that is why this reconciliation has been done in this case. Now, if we were to look at the plus and minus representation also simultaneously, because since we are looking at this question here, what we are seeing is that we have a minus 6340 here. So all we have to do is that whatever figures we have to subtract, going by the fact that going by the reasons that are mentioned here in the question, whatever we have to subtract, because we have to reduce. When we say we are reducing it, if we are having a, let's say, a figure of minus 10, okay, and if we have to say that we have to reduce it because the balance is lesser, so we have to reduce it. So minus by and then we get minus 11. So by reducing minus 10 by 1, we get minus 11, and that is why here we take minus 6340, and since we have to reduce it, why we have to reduce it? Because interest has been debited in the passbook but not yet in the cash book. We are starting from the cash book. That means that we are starting from the cash book where interest is not yet debited. Passbook interest is in the passbook, the interest is already debited up to 160, which means that our passbook balance is lesser by 160 as compared to the cash book. Since the passbook balance is lesser by 160, we have to reduce the cash book balance to move towards the passbook balance. And when we say we have to reduce from 6340, we are reducing 160. So we put both of them in the minus column, because this is minus 1 by minus 6340, this is minus 160. All the amounts where we have to increase, we'll put in the plus column. All the amounts which we have to reduce, we'll put in the minus column. And then we add up this minus column here, and we add up the plus column here. Then we find that the plus column is adding up to 23,68,000 rupees, and the minus column is adding up to 22,23,900 rupees. Then we take the difference of the two columns, the plus and minus columns, because they are opposite signs. and we get a figure of 1,44,100 rupees, which is of course the balance as per the passbook. So that is how there is a minor difference between the handling of the two things, but we are arriving at the same answer in both the methods. Thereafter, we'll be moving now to another method which is called adjusted cash book. We'll be covering that in the next session in the evening at 9 p.m. So please join us in our evening session at 9 p.m. for a continuation of this session and many more examples and illustrations to cover whatever things have not been so far cleared while dealing with this topic. So do join us once again at 8:45 p.m. today